If you enjoy this type of pattern, please tap that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. So I'm going to purposely put a knot in this ball. People are going to say, oh, it was already there. No, it's not. I'm putting it in now. I'm going to show you a secret. Oh my God, there was a knot in my ball. Oh my God. I better run to social media and start pounding that in there that there's not in my ball, and God forbid. One of the things that I realized when I joined the yarn industry, which I never considered, is that a yarn strand has a start and a stop to it. I know, the horror. I would have never thought in the world of making yarn that there would actually be a stop and start to yarn. I always thought that yarn was kind of just endless in that sense. And so when you get a knot like this, it can be one of those things. Yarn finishing is the final step. The cones are placed onto a raised table and fed through a steaming and winding machine. The strand is fed over a machine and then down onto a conveyor belt in a rotating format. Most knots in a yarn ball come from this step. The twisted cones have only so much yardage before they run out. Once one cone runs out, the cone is tied to the next cone, and then that cone is auto-fed through the machine without stopping the machine. The empty cone is then replaced and then is tied to the cone that is now winding. Once that cone is empty, it'll jump back to the cone that was just replaced. This happens all day in every winding machine in spin rate. If the yarn strand breaks during this process, the unfinished ball is removed at the end of the cycle and the yarn is placed into a second bag called mill ends. The yarn ball hasn't hit its target weight and cannot be sold as first quality. It's not put into the garbage, but it is sold as second quality. As you can see, there's nothing wrong with it other than the yarn was not wound to its full potential. So the weaver's knot is almost virtually impossible to be able to pull out, and then they trim it nice and short. So if you end up with that in the ball, there's actually a little secret to getting rid of the yarn knots out of the balls. It's called scissors. I know, I'm your best friend today. So what I normally do is that I don't ever crochet these knots into the ball itself or into the project itself, and all I just do, watch. Oh my God, there's no more knot. Now, I have to tell you, yeah, it's sometimes inconvenient of jumping from one strand to another, and it's more inconvenient when it's transitioning yarn and the color on the one side doesn't match the other, so maybe that is justified for a social media update to bang it in. But I just thought I'd let you know that when you bang that into social media, a magic fairy doesn't suddenly appear and fix it for you. Just so you know, but it might make you feel better. So, and then there's the other going to be, oh, you hate when that happens. So, it is what it is. And so one of the things about being an artist for yarn, and that's you and me, is to be able to manipulate from one strand to another inside the project. And you can do it mid-row or you can do it at the end of the row. Sometimes you can be strategic about it and be able to figure that out. So that's one of those things when it comes to this industry for working with the yarn arts, is to be creative, because there is always a start and a stop to the yarn, whether you want to appreciate that or not. And that's something that you can decide to do. So we do have tutorials available on how to transition from one to another, how to fasten off and cast off mid-row or the end of the row and anything like that. And that's just the way it is, my friends, in the yarn industry. There's always a start and a stop. I know. So go bang that into social media. Oh my God, the horror! It's not going to fix anything. So as an artist, you have to learn to be able to manipulate that in order to get your way through the creative process. It's something that you should learn right pretty much from the beginning.